Welcome everyone, this is Robin. Thank you so much for stopping in on my channel, Lady Robins. I'm Lady Robins both here on FlossTube and also on Instagram, so you can catch me both places if you're interested. I am happy to have you all here. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. I am thrilled that you have stopped in. And if you're a returning subscriber, I'm just as thrilled to have you here as well. I appreciate you all coming along on this FlossTube journey with me. It is Tuesday. It is the 27th of October, and this is my FlossTube number 53. All right, it is a full-blown Disney day for me today. I don't know what happened. I got my Mickey sweatshirt on. I've got my mug of the week, and I pulled out of the cupboard Disney's California Adventure mug. And I've got another Disney themed thing showing up a little bit later in the video. I can't wait to show you that. But for now, grab a beverage. Let's sit back and talk cross stitch, right? That's what we're here for. I want to start by thanking all of you that commented on last week's video. Well wishes to my mom who fell and broke her hip. Well wishes to my dad and to my sister and I as we are figuring out our new normal. I appreciate all those kind comments. It meant a lot to read those, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for those. Quick update, Mom saw her surgeon today. She is healing really well, and she is now allowed to have much more flexibility. She can bend beyond 70 degrees, which is great, which means getting into shoes and socks are easier. Easier for everybody, right? All right, let's have our beverage and talk about the cross stitching. It is in the evening. It's Tuesday evening. I ran around like a crazy person all day long, did so many errands that it is now, what is it? No, I was gonna say it's 7:30. It's 8:30. So I have nothing more exciting than water in my cup. There's no caffeine anything in here. But let's start with the beverage and get ourselves hydrated, shall we? Okay. Man, that tasted good. All right. I want to start off by telling you some exciting news. I have a ton of notes, so if you see me glancing down, just forgive me. I want to make sure I hit all sorts of different things in my floss tube this evening with you. So I wrote some notes like a real person, like a big person, right? But the first thing, you might have seen this on Instagram already, but I was picked to be one of the VIPs for the Black Needle Society. If you don't know about the Black Needle Society, they do wonderful subscription boxes and also special edition boxes. They're just super fun. I am dying to get my first box from them. I have seen a number of boxes that others have shown unboxings for. I was really jazzed to apply, and I'm incredibly honored to be picked as one of their VIPs. The VIP position runs for 6 months so that others can have a chance, which I think is really nice. I think that's really nice to kind of spread the love around to multiple folks. What that means for you is I get a discount code, and I will insert it in the video here. My discount code is LRobinS5. Okay, so L Robin ROBYNS, the number 5. Again, I'll put it in here so that you can see it printed out on the screen, and I'll also put it in the show notes down below the video once this gets published. But what does that subscription code do for you guys? It gets you a 5% discount on a box-to-box subscription. It does not discount the special edition boxes. So if you have heard about their boxes, like they've got a Jane Austen one coming up. They've got a Christmas one. Those are already sold out. Sorry, guys. But any future special edition boxes that come out that are kind of themed, the discount code does not work on them. However, if you sign up for a month-to-month subscription, it gets you a 5% discount off your first box. If you sign up for a longer subscription like the 6-month and the 12-month subscriptions, those are already discounted, so the discount code wouldn't work for those. But if you want to give them a try, do one of those month-to-month subscriptions, slap my code in there and get yourself a little discount. Why not? We all love a discount, right? So I'm super stoked to be part of this amazing team. Now let me just fire up my iPad. You probably will know a lot of the names that I'm gonna read off here for you, but I just wanted to let you know who else is part of this amazing team, because it's a pretty star-studded list, you guys, and I cannot believe that I got picked to be part of it. Like I said, I'm super thrilled by this whole thing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to scroll forever. Sorry. Okay. I'm getting to the top. I'm getting to the top. I'm getting to the top. All right, so the reps, here we go, that were selected are Michelle Bendy of Michelle Bendy Stitchy, Rachel Ray Craft, Steel City Stitchers, Erin the Two Martini Stitcher, and Becca of Sambry Stitches. So those guys are all reps, and reps are given the boxes to show on their FlossTube, and then the VIPs were given the opportunity to purchase the boxes at a slight discount. So, win-win for both of us, right? And so our VIPs are Cocohama Stitchery, Pippa Brown, Upton Stitches, Cece Java Pearl, Janet Jabber, Flishy Fish, and myself. So there's your Black Needle Society team. We will be from January through June, so expect lots of Black Needle Society content from us. I hope you're up for it. I'm up for it. I'm super excited and honored to have this opportunity. So, those of you that put nice things on my application video, thank you. Your good thoughts worked. I was selected, and I'm pretty excited about the whole thing. Next up, I want to talk about Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit that I went to this Saturday. It's put on by Acorns and Threads, one of my 2 local needle workshops, my LNS. Acorns and Threads had this whole Stitch Summit idea set in place. We'd put down our deposits, and then of course coronavirus. So we couldn't meet in person, but we met virtually. We had an all-day Zoom, and our designers at Stitch Summit were Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery and Paulette Stewart of Plum Street Stitchery. I think that's right? Plum Street? Let's just call it Plum Street. So anyway, there were, I think, what did they say? I think we are over 70 of us on the Zoom on Saturday. So that was super cool. And so we were given a project kit that came with exclusive designs by both Paulette and Beth. And I want to stop the video really quick because I didn't grab my stuff. Hold on, I'll be right back, and I want to share with you the cool projects that we were given for Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. Okay, one second. All right, thank you for your patience while I went and grabbed my stuff. So first off, let me show you the items that Beth Twist created for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. So we got a chart, and of course it's an exclusive chart to the event, but I think eventually she will release it. It is called Until We Meet Again. And this is, you know, a wonderful basket full of flowers. Beth designed this based on flowers from her garden and butterflies and moths that she sees around her wonderful property. So that was the first thing. And then these are the flosses to create that wonderful piece. I'm very excited to create this. And then we also received, this is my very first piece of graham cracker fabric. So Teresa Vanette, who's the kitten stitcher, her son Graham has started to dye fabric. So he has this wonderful line of fabrics, and it's a little grungy, and you can see that I got a pretty big grungy spot there, but Beth is graciously going to replace that because I'm not sure that well, I don't think the basket will cover it, and to me it looks like my pen had an oopsie. So I am very thankful. Thank you, Beth, for being willing to do that. So that was the first piece that we got. And then also from Beth, she sent along this. It's a little pin cushion, and it says, "May all your dreams come true," which I think this is adorable. And then she's also included the backing fabric and like a counting pin. I think this is really, really pretty. So I'm absolutely 100% psyched to start these projects, but I haven't started them yet. Then what we received from Paulette Stewart of Plum Street, we received this fantastic chart, and it is called Gather with Grateful Hearts. Isn't that pretty? And Paulette said she was inspired by her other piece, Cinnamon Stars, and she said this, you know, if you stitch Cinnamon Stars, that should look very familiar. And I'm actually working on Cinnamon Stars, so I'm thinking, you know, these two will be really beautiful companion pieces. So thank you, Paulette, for this amazing chart. And then you can see, let's see here, you can kind of see our flosses on the back, all those wonderful earth tones. So I'm looking forward to stitching this up also. But I did not start either project during Stitch Summit, which is probably crazy because I think, you know, usually when you go to a retreat, you stitch the project that you're given. But I was so close to a finish on one of my pieces that I just kept going with my whip. So I actually have two finishes this video to share with you because I did not stitch the pieces that were in our Summit stitch kit. So no harm, no foul, because I will get to these. Okay, so Stitch Summit was a complete blast. We did it on Zoom. We got on at 9 o'clock in the morning. At 3 o'clock, it officially, you know, kind of all the content closed. But they left the room open until 6 o'clock if you wanted to stay that long. It was super fun. Beth was able to share almost like a trunk show. She had all sorts of her pieces, her models behind her on the wall behind her, and she went through them. Both of them showed us some upcoming pieces. So there's some good content coming soon, you guys, from those designers. You are gonna be thrilled when you see them. So yeah, be looking for those to be announced relatively soon. So good stuff on the horizon from both Paulette and Beth. Thank you, Acorns and Threads, for this summit. It was fantastic. You know, it's hard to plan a retreat like that and then have the world, you know, turned on its ear and then figure out how to punt and go forward. They did a fantastic job. One of the things that was really fun, you know, of course, beyond having time with the designers, is one of the gals that works at Acorns and Threads. Her name is Jerry. She's a complete Plum Street fanatic. And so she took us on a tour of her craft space, and the things that Jerry has done with her Plum Streets are just amazing. Like, she'll stitch something on 40 count and, you know, it just turns into these little mini masterpieces. She is an amazing stitcher. I enjoyed that just as much as spending time with the designers. I thought what Jerry did was so much fun. So if you ever get a chance to go to Acorns and Threads, I think there's a few of Jerry's stitched pieces around the shop, and you can see what amazing stitching that Jerry does for herself and for Acorns. Okay, so I mentioned I have 2 FFOs, so not FFOs, FOs, finished objects. They're not fully finished, they're just finished. So let me show you what I got up to. All right, so I'm just reaching behind my phone. Okay, I did it, you guys. I got a finish on Fresh Picked Pumpkins. It is a finished object. I am so happy. So this is what I stitched on during, there we go, during Stitch Summit, so I could finish it off. Looks good, right? And remember, I told you that I had a counting goof, so there's supposed to be a double line up here. I just went with a single line, so I didn't have to pick things out. No frogging for me, and I think it turned out awesome. So that is my first fully finished object. Now, not fully finished. I'm so determined to get to the fully finished. It's just a finished object. But I got a question for you. So when you're done with a piece, I've heard for years and years and years that you should put your initials and the date you stitched it, right? And I've done that. I've done that over and over again. I didn't do it on Autumn Alphabet, which I'll show. I've got something to show you on that one too in a minute. But normally what I do is, you know, I kind of put it under the design, like down here in the corner. What I noticed though, on pieces that Paulette Stewart was showing us, she was kind of doing a trunk show, but she was at her mom's house. So she was showing pieces that she had stitched for her mother, that her mother had. And she would put her, you know, puts her initials on it. But they're big, you guys, and it's really intriguing to me. I mean, it's very clever and it looks fantastic. And so I'm thinking, do I put like bigger initials on it? And do I, you know, do I maybe put it here next to this little pumpkin? Or do I stick with my traditional teeny tiny, you can hardly see it, initials and date, you know, down in the corner? What do you guys do? Would you leave me a comment? I'm curious. Do you put your initials on a finished piece? And if you do you put it below the finish? Or do you mix it in somewhere in the middle? I would love to know what you guys do, because I want to put my initials on it, but I'm wondering if I need to be braver and put it someplace else. Tell me what you do. I'd love to know. All right, so that was my first finish for the week. My second finish is, it was a start and a finish all in the same day. Yeah, I was watching football. And I did the freebie chart from Ink Circles. And I will link the chart in my show notes so you can find it, because I had a dickens of a time finding it. It was not obvious to me. So anyway, now that I've got the link, I'll paste it in there so you can find it. Now, because it's a freebie, I can show you the chart. It couldn't be cuter. And I just went into my stash. I grabbed a red and a blue out of my DMCs in case you're curious what I picked. For the blue, I picked DMC 311. And for the red, I picked DMC 321. And this is stitched on a 40 count. This is just the leftover fabric from Autumn Alphabet. And I stitched it 1 strand of floss over 2 threads on the linen. So I wanted to wear this when I dropped my ballot off at the ballot box, but I did it on Monday and I did not have time to get this thing completed. But I'm going to proudly wear it for next week that I've already voted. I just thought this was adorable. I've seen a couple others do this. I know that, what is it? Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She's done it and finished it. Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, she's done it and finished it. And so, you know, can't be left behind. I got to do it too. So there's still time to do it. Yeah. It's stitched up super, super fast because the football game on Sunday did not go as I was hoping. Oh my gosh. Those Seahawks are going to give me a heart attack. You know, I live in Seattle, so of course I'm a Seahawks fan. Oh my goodness. We love our Seahawks, but the outcome was not what we had hoped. I know there are many people around the league that are thrilled that Seahawks finally have a loss. All right. Okay, what did I work on? Well, obviously I worked on fresh picked pumpkins. I got that polished off, so that got quite, not quite a bit of time, but it was kind of my main focus. And then I worked on Lottie Daw's Smell My Feet. And then because the Plum Street kit from Stitch Summit was kind of, almost feels like a companion piece to Cinnamon Stars, I pulled that back out. So the things that I thought I was going to work on last week, not what I worked on. All right, let me go grab those pieces and I will show you where I'm at. I'll be right back. All right, so let me show you Lottie Daw's Smell My Feet. All right, and this guy, I am stitching it. I just saw my tag. I am stitching it on 32 count Havana. I love Havana. That is one of my favorite colors. Just love it. And it only has 2 colors in the chart. And even though there's 2 colors in the chart, I changed one of them. So the black, I'm just using DMC 310. And let me just flip this up. Okay, and then I've decided the little witchy legs need to be orange. And so I'm going to use this beautiful, this is called Rustic Pumpkin. And this is by Victorian Motto. So, let me put it back over here. That's pretty true. That's pretty true to the color right there. So, I've decided she needs orange tights. So, those are the 2 colors that I am stitching those up on. And then, the frog has visited me. Gosh darn it. I thought I was gonna get this done on Saturday. I was just stitching away and just going to town, and then looked down and went, ugh. So I had to set it aside because I was mad. So I got the first, let me get this folded up a little bit better. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So I got the first cute little shoe done, the laces, the trick done, and then started working on the second one over here, only to realize, and I know you probably can't see it, but this shoe is one up. So I have got to figure out where I went wrong. Gosh darn it. Yeah, when you're looking at it, when I'm looking at it on screen here, it actually looks right, but trust me, it's not. So I've got to fix my boo-boo on that one. So that's actually one of my plans for this week, is to figure out, it's somewhere in here. It's somewhere in this bit that I've got off. So I need to sit down, have the TV off, and figure out where my mistake is, and then get it put back together. So sad. I don't know how I do that, you guys. Well, I'll tell you. I only have this copy of the chart. This is my only copy. And I've told you before, you never want a chart that I have used, because I'm an animal. I never get around to making a working copy. I just don't. It's not that I don't think it's a good idea. I actually think it's kind of a brilliant idea, but I never get there. I have a copy machine at work. I forget all the time. I'll get to work and think, oh, I didn't take that pattern. And then I'll go home and think, well, I want to start it anyway. And I'll take it to work tomorrow when I'll make a copy, blah, 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 right? I never get around to making that working copy. It just doesn't happen. And so I'm like, that's my chart. I paid for it. I can mark it up, right? And so I cross things off and I make notes, and for a while I highlighted things and blah, da, 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 da. So my patterns are a holy mess by the time I'm done, because I've marked things off. And I can only think of 2 times where I stitched a chart and then I stitched it a second time, and they were things for wedding samplers. So, I'm just not gonna stitch a pattern a second time. It just doesn't make sense. There's so much stitching to do. Why would I redo something, right? I just want to go on to the next new thing, right? Don't we all? That's fun. So anyway, my charts, like I said, rabbit hole. Like I said, my charts are a mess, but because I only have this one copy, I don't want to mess it up because this one I can see doing a couple of times. If I ever was part of an exchange, I think it's super cute. So I don't want to mess up the only copy I've got. So that's part of my problem, is I can't do my normal thing of going, did that. So I think that's where my problem came into play on this one. All right, enough about the la-di-da smell my feet. The other one I pulled out because of Stitch Summit is Cinnamon Stars. See, you see what Paulette said? That is totally from Cinnamon Stars. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of the star smoke from the chimney. I'm down for it. Okay, so on this one, I am stitching it on 32 count R&R linen in the color Apple Butter. I think this is a sweet color. So I actually got quite a bit of progress done. Like I said, I was totally inspired after listening to the lovely Paulette Stewart. So what did I get done? I finished filling in this house. I think I had like a little bit here and some up here to fill in. So this whole center part of the house or the cabin is done. And then I started working on all of the stones on the side. So I am really having fun working on this one. And then I've got to tell you, so down here, the little picket fence, I have to admit, I had a hard time identifying that as a picket fence. I mean, I knew what it was in my head, blah, blah, blah. But when I looked at the picture, that variegated floss didn't really read that well. Oh my goodness. You guys, I saw somebody on Instagram that had finished it, and they did the picket fence probably in, you know, DMC B, you know, what is it, 5200. It looked amazing. So I am gonna make that change on my picket fence when I get down there. I think I'm gonna do like DMC B 5200, or I might even the kind of the mortar around the stones on the side is done in oatmeal. So I might do oatmeal for my fence, but I just know I'm going to make a little bit of a change so that that really reads white picket fence, because I think it needs to. All right, so one more peek at cinnamon stars. And once I'm done recording this, this is what I'm going to sit down with. I'm not feeling the frog right now. I'm feeling the stars. So I want to go with the stars for my stitching tonight. Alrighty. What else did I want to chat with you about? Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you. So this weekend I decided to, clean up my craft room. It was a royal mess. I posted pictures of the mess on Instagram to shame myself and spur me into action. So while I was doing that, I moved all of my patterns into magazine boxes, and I put them all together alphabetical by designer. I had them in hanging file folders, and I had them by theme. So all the Christmas patterns were together, all of the, you know, baby samplers were together, all of the Halloween things, you know, blah, blah, blah. I found that worked for me back in the 90s. It doesn't work for me now because I want all of the bent creeks touching each other. I want all of the heartstring sampleries sandwiched neatly together. So somebody had posted on Instagram that they had done that, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing. So I went through all of my patterns, and I've got a 2-inch, maybe that's 3-inch stack of patterns that when I looked at them, I thought, these are gorgeous. I'm never gonna stitch them. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet. But it felt really good though to kind of release those and just hold on to things that I absolutely want to stitch, or for some reason, maybe there's some that I might not stitch, but I just can't quite let them go. Anyway, that's what I did, and it felt really good. So this space is looking pretty good. Now, that all was said to tell you, one of the things I found was some cording that I had made in a class. And the project from the class, I've already finished, believe it or not, me. But the cording that I had made is perfect for Autumn Alphabet. So I am going to add this to Autumn Alphabet. I am super excited by how that looks. So next week I hope to have added this trim to Autumn Alphabet, and then it really will be fully finished for the second time. So I just thought I would share that with you. Alrighty. What else have I got going on here that I wanted to talk about? Yes, the haul. I got my monthly fabric of the month from BeStitchMe, Brandy at BeStitchMe, and it couldn't be lovelier. I love this stuff, you guys. This is called Scotsman. I get the 32 count linen, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? I have no idea what I'm gonna stitch on this, but man, I cannot wait. Look at that beautiful modeling. I get a grippy huge piece. So I can probably, depending on what I do, I might be able to get, 2 pieces, 2 things stitched on this. So this is the Fabric of the Month Club from Brandy at BeStitchMe. And again, this is called Scotsman. So I am super excited about that. The other thing I got was a needle minder. I spotted this on Etsy when I was just goofing around one night, and I knew I couldn't live without it. You guys, isn't that fantastic? It looks like one of the name badges from a cast member at Disneyland. It's got my name, it's got my city and state. I just giggled when I opened my bag this afternoon, and there it was. And my husband said, "So now your stitchy place is the happiest place on earth?" And I'm like, it is! It really is! I just thought this was great. If you need a Disney cast member needle minder, go on to Etsy. It is by, I wrote it down, Wind Trader Co. on Etsy, all run together. And you can get your own cast member needle minder. You can probably, use it as an official name tag, but I'm going to use it as a needle minder. I think it's adorable. I love it. So that is my haul of the week. Brandy's fabric and my cast member name badge. All right. So I told you that I cleaned up my craft room, and the librarian in me would not let me do anything except alphabetize. What I have done is I have alphabetized my patterns. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can tilt the camera. I hope I don't get you all sick. So right there, you can see a magazine box. I now have 5 of them. Alpha by Designer, all ready to go. I love it. The other thing that I did is, again, I'm going to grab my camera. Right there are my project bags. And the other thing that I did is on every project bag, I went through and added a tag, a little tag. It's on a little string. And I put the name of the project on this little tag. So when I put them back there in my bookcase, now it's alphabetical by project. I don't know about you, that does something for me. I can find my projects. I don't have to remember what project bag something's in. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. My little organizational scheme in here. My desk is cleaned off. It's this is also now a really happy place for me because things are in order and I can find them, and I just needed that. I needed a little calm in my life. Okay, if you guys need some FlossTube to watch, if you are unaware, my LNS, Acorns and Threads, has started a FlossTube channel. Go check them out. They had open house last week, and I learned things that I didn't know about Acorns and Threads, and I've been going there for a year. I did not know they have a framer. If you need somebody to frame something, they have a framer named Lisa who can help you. Who knew? I didn't know. Also, the other thing, I think I'm slowly creeping down a rabbit hole. They showed counting pins. I've heard of counting pins. I know what they are. I'm like, oh, for heaven's sakes, I don't need counting pins. Oh, they showed counting pins that were so pretty. Now I'm all over counting pins. I haven't bought any yet, but there's a possibility there might be counting pins in my future. So anyway, go check out Acorns and Threads' new FlossTube. It's super fun, and you'll get to meet all the girls that help me when I go down there or when I call the shop or send an email. They are lovely ladies, so you'll just enjoy meeting all of them. So that's one FlossTube recommendation for you. Oh, the other one I definitely wanted to point out was Audrey Stitchy Witch 42. Her latest FlossTube shows her stitching on her Stony Creek Halloween Village Afghan, and it is looking fantastic, you guys. Audrey shows her stitching. It's super, super informative. I learned a lot watching Audrey's video, so go check her out, Stitchy Witch 42. Also, if you are in the market for some fabric, Fiona's little craft cottage is a great place. Fiona lives probably about an hour and 15 minutes away from me, and she's gotten into dyeing fabric. Her fabric is really pretty. So if you need somebody else to order fabric from beyond Brandy at BeStitchMe, go check out Fiona. And she does from Ada to linen and everything in between. So I watched those folks this week. I watched others as well, but those were the ones that I just wanted to point out to you that I learned some pretty cool things through. All right, you guys, that is pretty much it for me. In terms of plans, I'm just gonna stitch on cinnamon stars, smell my feet. Beyond that, I don't know. I might pull out playing with jacks, and I'm starting to see people showing Christmas things. Christmas things are starting to attract my attention, so we'll see. I don't feel like I'm quite ready for a big Christmas start, but I have a number of things that I haven't worked on in a long, long time, like Baby It's Cold Outside. Probably should get to stitching on that again. Those are the things that are kind of calling to me right now. That's it. I have enjoyed chatting with you guys tonight. I hope you are having a fantastic week. I hope your stitching is going well and the frog is not visiting you. I just want to tell you, stitch happy. Don't forget, it's not about speed. It's not about finishing that project by whatever deadline you've put in your head. It's about being happy while you're doing your stitching, and that's what I wish for you. That's what I wish for myself too. I think my problem with Smell My Feet was I started thinking, if I get this finished tonight, then I can, do blah, 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 and maybe I'll have an FFO for my FlossTube and blah. And then I wasn't stitching happy. I was stitching almost panicked, and that's when I made a mistake. So, happy stitching, y'all. All right. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Okay. Bye.